Failed states and conflicts provide conditions under which pirates flourish, and piracy has re-emerged as a global threat to seafarers, maritime commerce and security. The Suez Canal and Gulf of Aden provide Europe's key trade route to the Middle East, India and the Far East. Unhindered passage for the 30,000 ships that use it annually is essential to the economic well-being and energy security of the continent. The oceans are vast and naval forces do not have the resources or mandate to provide protection to their flagged vessels, and so the burden of protection falls onto seafarers. Inevitably, this means a trade-off between risk and cost, neither of which are easily understood or quantified. PROMERC has been funded by the EC to provide a layered approach to planning, routing and threat reduction. PROMERC has applied naval and military tactics to create layered defence. There are three elements of PROMERC which interlock to provide a comprehensive toolset. The first is the online countermeasures manual, which is used to evaluate the vulnerability of individual vessels, assess the risk to that vessel on specific voyages, and select an appropriate package of countermeasures to mitigate the risk to an acceptable level. The utility, effectiveness, and any factors associated with the use of countermeasures have been independently assessed. The countermeasures have been grouped into 4 categories of increasing cost. This countermeasures database also underpins the second PROMERC tool, the Route Planner, which provides voyage and vessel-specific route optimization and is used by the company security officer and voyage manager to monitor the fleet and to plan voyages. The database of ships includes information about the countermeasures which are available and the vulnerability of that specific ship to successful pirate attack. The vulnerability is a statistical measure based on analysis of many thousands of attacks on ships with the same characteristics. The countermeasures are grouped into 4 categories of increasing cost. The graph shows the effectiveness of each category in reducing the risk of piracy. New voyages are added and a suitable vessel selected. Waypoints for the baseline route are added. These could be the standard route or a weather-optimized route. Once the voyage information is complete, the voyage is scheduled for optimization. All of the factors that contribute to risk have been identified through analysis of thousands of incidents. As well as the ship characteristics and countermeasures in force, they include location, wind speed, light levels, even the day of the week. The risks specific to the vessel are calculated at 3 hourly intervals for the entire voyage. These underpin the optimization and are also displayed as a heat map. Risk is not static and changes over time as well as space. There is a trade-off between risk and cost. High-risk areas can be avoided, but this may be at the expense of fuel and time. Risk can be reduced by high-speed transit, but this adds to the voyage cost. The route optimizer gives the voyage manager control of this trade-off, and he can select the optimum route to meet his needs. He can see weather parameters throughout the voyage as well as heat maps. Once a route has been selected, which mitigates the risk of piracy to an acceptable level, the optimized route is saved. The risk will be monitored and the optimized route updated throughout the voyage. The route is sent to the master of the vessel and is displayed on the third element of PROMERC, the onboard decision aid. A ship's master may only encounter a pirate attack once in his career, and it is essential that he takes appropriate actions to minimize the risk of a successful boarding. The PROMERC onboard decision aid is linked to the ship's VDR and radar, as well as receiving near real-time information on pirate activity, risk levels and route recommendations from ashore. The decision aid provides best practice guidance which is sensitive to the time, location and threat level. When the vessel approaches a high-risk area, the master receives reminders to take extra precautions such as setting lookouts. The TDA is linked to the ship's radar, and if a radar contact is identified as being a potential threat, the master is alerted and a course advised to avoid detection. If a contact starts to close, the TDA will alert the master to commence the most effective combination of speed and maneuvering given the vessel's characteristics, the position, course and speed of the threat, and the wind and sea direction which the TDA receives from the ship's VDR. Reliable sources of near real-time intelligence are constantly monitored, and reports of pirate activity are sent to the onboard decision aid. If they pose a threat, PROMERC will automatically recommend a change of course or speed to avoid the risk. PROMERC will continue to update the route and provide weather routing until the vessel safely reaches its destination. There are a bewildering number of options available to shipping companies to mitigate the risk of piracy and to deter pirates. PROMERC has been created to increase the safety of seafarers by giving them assistance throughout the entire voyage through a countermeasure manual to aid the selection of appropriate countermeasures for the vessel and route, a route optimizer to inform the trade-off between cost and risk, and through an onboard decision aid which provides best practice, advice and guidance specific to the vessel and appropriate to the situation.